Either one of these working? And there we go. Twitch is working. What about YouTube? Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, everything's working. Um, chat pause. No. Okay. So, before the break, I was trying to get these cubes working. Yeah, I'm trying to like add and remove them at runtime. But we're having some weird issues. And one thing I did realize is why we're having problems with like negative stuff is because this is size T. And so when I was saying like -5, it was putting it at like whatever uint 64 max or something. So this needs to be float. Cast this to a float, and then now I can do like -10 or something. So that should at least work there. But yeah, about the model, like why the model itself isn't valid, but everything else is fine, I have no idea. Because it doesn't make any sense. There we go. I still only have 5. Oh, no. Why am I not just like adding 5 every time? That's weird. Why not? Yeah. Oh, okay, well, hold on. Up here, this is still broken. I know that. Okay, so there's that problem. But yeah, why is this not blue box count? Yeah, this says 10, push back, add object. It's very strange. You're just comment out this whole thing. Right, and then maybe instead of like trying to do it like that, I can just have a key that'll like add a box where I'm looking or something. Okay, there we go. That's only 5 though. Yeah, that makes sense because I'm only doing 5. There we go. Now I've got all 10. Sweet. Yeah, they crossed that. Whatever. Okay, maybe actually I should shift these over like one on the X. Maybe just not do -10. Or -11. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. -5. I'm just trying to find a good spot for these. Probably just put them in like a cube anyway instead of a diagonal line. But that's still terrible. Okay. Hey, uh, I'm doing well. How are you? Um, right now, so I'm writing my own game engine with C and C++ and Vulkan, and right now I'm trying to get dynamically adding and removing objects working. Um, and so I kind of have something working, um, but it's seg faults, so I'm doing something very wrong. Um, yeah, so like if I try this, I'll probably seg fault here. And so like I'm trying to like I want to have like 10 of these blue boxes, and then I want to like add 5 per frame and then remove 5 per frame. But yeah, I get a seg fault there. Um, and so part of what I'm doing right now is trying to figure out why that's happening. And for some reason it's happening because the model pointer that my object has is invalid. So that's like it's somehow it has an invalid pointer for this, and I'm not sure how. Um, unless if object. So when it's, yeah, model is not null pointer, remove instance, right? And then like the actual, this model member won't get deleted until the game engine is crazy. I mean, it's just, I couldn't find anything that does like everything that I want. And so I'm just kind of making the game I've always wanted to play, basically. Just starting from C++ and Vulkan, working my way up to it. Yeah, and all the code is open source. It's on GitHub. I think the GitHub link should be in the stream description or my profile description. I don't know. Somewhere there's a GitHub link. Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out why is this model pointer invalid? It doesn't make any sense. You know what? What is the right, remove object. Yeah, I'm removing this blue box. I'm not like removing something else. And so if I look at put down one. Yeah, so if I look at objects, object ID, right, so I have this object pointer. And it, oh, okay, these so these position values look a little strange. But then some of this other stuff I know makes sense, like it's got this other pointer to a vector, and that one's valid. Can't help me, don't C++. So that's all right. More just streaming this for I don't know, to share it with people, and I think people might like almost might like watch me struggle through a lot of this, because like when I'm like watching like programming videos and stuff on YouTube or streams and stuff like that, it's kind of like the person always like kind of always knows what they're doing, and I only kind of know what I'm doing, and so I think it might be valuable to like watch me keep messing up over and over again until I actually get stuff right and figure things out. So maybe that'll help someone learn as well. So anyway, I have somehow this model is getting changed. Model is not null pointer, but nothing. Yeah, it's only getting set up here. Yeah, not sure what's going on with that. So let me try taking these out, because maybe there's something weird with I'm doing something wrong there. I want to try maybe just like setting up some keys to like add and remove a model instead of like trying to do it per frame and do kinds of weird stuff like that. So instead of that, yeah, so poll events, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's camera update transform. I think I might need to put this in the camera class. Is it in here? Yeah, so here's where I'm doing glfw get key. Yeah, more fun to watch others fix problems. Yeah, that's kind of the idea of all this. Yeah, so I'm polling the events from the keyboard, and so now I can probably run something like this. So if get key, and then instead of keys.pitchup, let's just say like glfw key, I don't know, what would I want to add an object, because I'm using WASD to move the camera. Plus seems fine. Or I may have to hit shift for that, but glfw key, what's available? F keys, left, comma, minus. Yeah, there should be plus in here. Somehow there's not. That's weird. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. KP add? Is that it? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just use one of these F keys so I know exactly what it is. Yeah, just say like F2. I don't think F2 or F3. Yeah, no. That's not. I don't have like any other hotkey set up. So there's F2, and then I can say F3. And then I want to keep track of, yeah, I just want to say st blue box ID, and actually, let me just make this an optional value. And I don't know if you can read the, I don't know how readable the code is, because like the screen is at 1440p and then it's getting downscaled down to 1080p for Twitch. So I can make it a little bigger if it's hard to read. Anyway, so I have this ID and I want to get rid of, mostly get rid of this code. Just a get object. All right, so if I hit F2, then I want to make this object. So if, let's just say blue box ID has value, or if not has value, doesn't have a value, then I want to, actually it's not get object, it's add object. Right. I want to set the ID to be dot, I just set it equal to this. There we go. And then I want to set its position. So I'm going to go object manager, get object, the ID value, and I want to set its position to be, I don't know, 111. That seems fine. Yeah, and then if I press F3, then if the ID has a value, then I want to remove the object. I want to give it the object ID value. And then I can reset that. I think it's reset. Pretty sure it's optional reset. I don't know what else it would be. Reset destroys contained value. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. So what's this complaint about here? Blue box. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this code up here. This stuff. That was for generating those boxes at runtime. Yeah, so get key F2 if I don't already have an object ID, then create an object and then set its position. And then if I press F3, if I do have an object ID, then remove the object and reset the optional. Okay, that should work. So let's try this out. Okay, so it didn't crash on start this time, so that's a little bit better. Yeah, so this is kind of what I have so far in the engine. So all that red, I don't know how well it shows up with the compression, but all this red in the background, I'm drawing like a million of these just simple box models. And then I have some other test models I got from the, I'm sure I have the link up here somewhere on the, I have way too many tabs open. I think it's here. Yeah, these GLTF sample assets. Yep. So I have a whole bunch of just sample models, right? So there's that, right? So this is just like some engine model, some simple textures, and this is like a chessboard. Yeah, and then this like million cubes, that was for testing like how quickly I can make instances. And so now, let's see, I should be able to add a box if I press F2. I'm pressing F2 and nothing's happening. Or was it F3? No. Neither F3 nor F2 do anything. Okay. So that's weird. Let me try printing something out. Creating box. And destroying box. Is this? Yeah. So let's see. Press F2. Yeah, it says creating box. Again, that it doesn't. So the box isn't getting drawn. It seems like. And then if I press F3, yeah, it says destroying box. Right. So these are running. It just it's just not actually drawing it. But I am telling it here to refresh all the objects and the draw calls and all of that. So then I'm going to pull this up in RenderDoc and try to see what's going on. So I'm going to remove all of these extra cube objects and actually, no, let's not do it there. I'm going to remove everything except these boxes. Where? Here we go. Yeah, so right here, this is just, I just have a whole bunch of other models and things to find right there. So, and just comment that out. And that's code generate all the rest, everything else. So I can run this or build it, and then I can pull this up in RenderDoc, and I can look at all the buffers on the GPU and everything's trying to draw and see what's going on. Oh, something's upset. Hold on. Descriptor buffer, descriptor set, update descriptor sets. Buffer is null handle. If null descriptor is not available, buffer must not be null handle. Okay, I think I need to make like one object. Otherwise, some other code I have isn't going to work right. I can make like one object up here. So that's something I need to fix. It was because basically what that this should show. Is this commented out? This shouldn't be commented out. Yeah, there we go. Why I'm getting this error here is because since I'm not creating any models here, once I commented everything out, then I'm not creating the like GPU buffers. And then this is complaining about like, hey, the GPU buffer doesn't exist. Yeah, and so I just need to have like a basic model to force all like the GPU buffers to get created. So that's something else I can fix, but that's kind of unimportant right now. I'm trying to get other stuff working. So try running this again. Does this work? Okay. And yeah, so I can do create box, destroying box. And that's weird. That just might be GLFW being a little strange. I'm not sure. So if I like start typing the keys back and forth a bit, like GLFW really gets upset. Oh, maybe if they're like pressed at the same time? I don't know. Anyway, you have to go now. Yeah. Nice meeting you. Yep. Anyway, let me open up RenderDoc. See what's going on. So yeah, I can go ahead and I can try to create the box and see why this is failing. So it is trying to draw two things. Maybe I'm just drawing it in a bad spot or something. Yeah. So this is drawing that, and then, yeah, so this is drawing the cube. So what's wrong with this? Mesh viewer, no instances. Huh. That's weird. So maybe I didn't update the buffers or something? Empty draw call, 0 instances. Yeah, if I look in here, well, so what would this mean? Yeah, so it didn't get any vertices or indices, right? So this is like the vertex and index buffers didn't update, and also first instance 0 shouldn't. Yeah. That's weird too. These shouldn't both say first instance 0. This should be like first instance 1. Because that's like the material it's pointing to, or the group of instances. So those are both. Yeah, like this one looks right, but this one's very messed up. So is there anything else? Because this should just work, and I don't think there's anything else I'm doing that would... Yeah, like I'm running refresh here, which is fine. Poll events, and then create this. Yeah, refresh that. And then when I actually render, that should update all the buffers and everything. So somehow, let me look at the, is this the vertex buffer in position? No. Can I just see the whole vertex buffer? Yeah, here we go. This one I'm looking for. Okay, and so it looks like the vertex buffer is actually set up in here. So how did this not work? First index is 6. 5, 6. Text score 0, 0, normal 0, 0, 1, 0. I guess that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like all the vertices are in here. About the indices. Yeah, and this looks reasonable enough. Index count 36. Oh, that's a little weird. First index is 6. Index count is 36, but index buffer only has 36 elements total. So that's like that box plus the like I should have, yeah, like this thing has 6 indices. Yeah, and this one starts at 6, but that goes to 36. So I should have, the size of this index buffer should be 42 or 41. Like it should have 41 elements in it. Size should be 42. So maybe, but then what's also weird is like, this is just telling me no instances whatsoever. Like it's an empty draw call. Oh yeah, instance count is 0. Yeah, that's weird. Instance count should be 1. So instance count is wrong, and then the index buffer is wrong, and first instance is wrong. Okay. So, so in here, yeah, right. And then when am I calling this? So like this is when I'm updating the draw command, is when I'm calling write indirect command. And I thought I was drawing that. Yeah, model add instance. Draw. Right, so that's this invalid draws, right? Register invalid draws, push back this. Yeah. And so when I do this refresh invalid draws right here, yeah, this is when it should be updating the these values here. And it looks so actually they are getting updated, right? Because this is 36, this is 6, this is 4. So yeah, those numbers make sense. It's just for instance count and first instance are wrong. That's the problem. Yeah, I think everything else looks right, but also the yeah. So the index buffer, yeah, 36 indices, and the vertex buffer. Yeah, I don't know exactly how big the vertex buffer should be. 27 kind of makes sense, but yeah, the index buffer should be like 42 long. So that's also a problem. And so I think maybe with the index buffer, so I have my render graph code here, and a lot of this is really complicated. So op bind index buffer allocator parent buffer. Yeah. So this should be fine because so what this is doing is like, yeah, I have dynamic node. So every time that, so on every frame, I'm re-recording the command buffers. And then, and so I'm running this op command to actually record the command buffer. And then this index buffer allocator, this is like the, and then the parent, this is, I'm basically just like getting the GPU buffer here for the index buffer. So it seems like I I should always be binding the correct index buffer, but it's like the indices didn't get uploaded to it, which is really weird because the indices get uploaded here. So maybe the allocator didn't, like I didn't allocate enough. So yeah, I'm saying indirect command dot instance count or index count. Yeah, times size of indices. So yeah, I should be allocating a block of, yeah, and each index is like it's like 4 bytes or something. Yeah. So I'm allocating this here, and then I'm running this for both that box model and for the that simple texture model. So there might be something wrong with this allocator. So the vertex allocator, yeah. So these are both linear allocators. So we go over here. Try to see what's going on. So linear allocator. Yeah, so you start off with no free blocks, right? Or where is... Okay, yeah, free blocks is up here. So free blocks. And then I go and I allocate a block of this size or whatever, right? And so I go, hey, look at my free blocks. And so I shouldn't have any free blocks. So I should just skip down here. And so it should happen first for the simple texture. And so it should just do like byte size like 16 or something. Because I think it's like 4 indices. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway. Yeah, so block, new sub-allocation, parent size. Oh, yeah. So that's saying like this sub-allocation here, or can I pull it up? Where is it? Yeah, so this is offset size allocator parent. So the offset would be the parent size, which is 0. The byte size is like 4, and then there's the parent, and then I'm reallocating parent, and so I'm saying, hey, block offset, which is 0. So yeah, I'm giving it the size of, yeah, I'm basically adding to its current size, and then the yeah, the byte size. Yeah, actually, this should probably just say like parent size, but I don't think this is a problem. Plus byte size, which, yeah, that makes sense because that's what I'm allocating there, and that byte size I'm allocating in there is the vertices size times size of vertices. Yep, that all makes sense. Yeah, and I'm telling the parent to realloc. So that should just grow the size. That's really weird. So maybe it was something strange about... Where is it? I can never find stuff in here. So complicated. What does offset return? Yeah, it just returns offset. Okay. That's very strange. Yeah, and then free, yeah, pushback, allocate. That's fine. So right, and then this is the other problem. Instance count and first instance are both 0, but these did get updated, right? So yeah, so it ran this, and then it did write, it did like write the indirect command here, but what it never did was update instance count, even though it did call register invalid. So if not registered is true. Yeah, it really is. My maybe I should just do like if doesn't contain or something, but if not registered, register true. And yeah, registered should default to false. Right, and then, oh, hold on a second. When I write indirect, right, so I think when I consume this, I'm not flipping registered. That might be the problem. So where am I consuming that? That's this model manager refresh invalid draws. Let's see. Yep. I'm not flipping the flag on the invalid draw. Or wait, yeah, invalid draws processor. Invalid draw write indirect command. And then invalid draws of I. Can I say registered equals false? Does that work? Registered as private member. Okay. Yeah, well then I guess I can just, when I call write indirect command, that's probably a little better then. Right, so I can say registered equals false. So that should fix the problem with the broken instance count in first instance. But I think I'm still going to have problems with that vertex buffer having the wrong size. And maybe I'm doing something similar with the objects. Maybe that's why the sizes aren't right. That could certainly be the case. Like I'm not resetting this properly. Let me check that real quick then, because that's probably it. Or, I don't know. No, because it should, like the vertex in it, that's not object-based. That's the, that's on the draw. So, Yeah, so object manager, right, refresh invalid objects, right? And so this thing, yeah, refresh instance data. Object, refresh, if instance data invalid. Okay, instance data invalid equals false. Yeah, so I am doing this here. So that's good. So let's see how this works now. So yeah, one object, and if I hit F2, hey, I got the box. Good. And if I hit F3, hey, it destroyed the box. F2, F3, it works. It all works. Great. Now I do want to check out RenderDoc because some of that looked a little weird. Let's rebuild it. Because it still looked like the indices and vertices are wrong. Now, like maybe since it's like a cube versus a plane or something, it's technically fine because I don't know, it's like reading the other one. I don't really know. But anyway, there's the cube. That's great. So now, so let's see. You've got 36 indices and your first index is at 6. But I only have 35 indices total. Or 36 indices total. That's not right. I don't know how it's drawing it correctly. Maybe it like doesn't have a backside or something. Yeah, index count 6, vertex offset 0. That's fine. But then this is just like nonsense. Or maybe it's like at the end of this buffer, like because I've drawn like a million cubes at the end of this index buffer, somehow it's still fine. I don't know. Like the data that it's reading from that it shouldn't have access to is actually fine. I don't know. But I should get like a GPU hang if I'm going over the buffer. Again, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this is strange because index count was first index, right? Like if I look up the it's this draw index indirect command somewhere, something. VK index indirect command something. VK draw index indirect command. this is what I want. Yep. Right, base index within the index buffer, number of vertices to draw. Yeah, value added to the vertex index. That makes sense. It might just number of vertices to draw. Yeah, right? Like this should have to be. It should have to grow it. Right? Unless like I'm completely confused by this. So index count, yeah, number of vertices to draw, right? And it has like one index per vertex. Yeah, so there's definitely something wrong here because this needs to be 42 in size or 41 elements or whatever. And so that means there's something wrong with this linear allocator. Or with something about how I'm managing this stuff. So let's see, index count, indices.size, indirect command index count times size of indices of 0. Yes. Those are uint 32t's. And then first index equals this, and then right indices data. Yes. It's offset divided by, yeah. So I wonder what the offset is. Got index offset, index alloc offset. Yeah, there we go. Close this. Right, I think this should be right. Yeah, this should say like 0 and then 6, or 0 and 24. Yeah, and then 24 divided by 4 is 6. Yeah, that makes sense. Index offset, got index count, and this should definitely be right. Because these are the pieces that are actually correct, right? What I really need to say is like resizing buffer to whatever. Yeah, 0 and 6. Got index offset 24. Yeah, because 6 times 4 is 24. And then got index count 36. Yeah. Indices.size. Yep. All of that makes sense. And so I would have allocated index count. So I would have allocated, 36 times 4, which is 36. I would have allocated a block of size 36, right? So let's say, do it like this, allocating index. And then we can go look in allocation on the GPU, right? Let's say we allocate GPU with byte size. Yeah, because like I'm not combining indices between multiple draws or anything crazy like that. Oh. Yeah, this should still work. Yep. Oh, yeah, right. So like I had to hit that in order for it to actually get realloc, which is fine. Yeah, so got, or no, that's fine because that's just for like the instance data. This is what I actually care about here because this is when the model gets loaded. So got index offset. Yes, so allocating index. Yeah, so allocating index right here. And then it reallocates the GPU with size 24. I don't know. Whatever. Realloc GPU with byte size 24. This is probably like an image or something. Got index offset 0. Got index count 6. Yeah, that makes sense because I did 6 times 24. And then how much reallocs, right? And then so what? There's other things, right? So allocating index, realloc GPU with byte size 168. So let's pull up Python real quick. And so if I look at 6 plus hold on, or is right, like your offset is 24, right? So I say like 24 plus 36 times 4 is 168. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense, right? So then I should have like 6 plus 36 times 4 elements. It's 168. Maybe I just don't know how to use RenderDoc and it's actually working right. I wonder if that's the thing. So I go ahead and launch this. Right, and yeah, it doesn't exist yet, but that's fine because the model exists. Like, I don't have the instance, right? So I go into here. What does the index buffer look like? Okay, now the index buffer shows 41. If I go in here, it just shows, now it shows 41. I didn't do anything! Was it? No, I was definitely scrolling down all the way. What? I didn't do anything. I did nothing. Is it only when I draw the cube that it fails? See this capture? No. Draw it, check it. Now what happens? Now it's working. 41. 41. I didn't do anything. I wonder. I go scrolling down all the way. I wonder. So if I go launch here, right? Yeah, whatever. Do that, and then I only click on this one. Now what happens to the index buffer? 35. Okay. So it's render. This is a RenderDoc bug, because then I click here, and now it says 35. Now it still says 35. 35. Yeah, right. Like it says 35, but it's actually 41. Because then if I, or yeah, I didn't close it out, but whatever. Launch it again. I click this, and then I click this one first, and then I view it. Now it's 41. Okay, so this is a RenderDoc bug. Great. So I need to submit a bug report. I just don't know what to say. So I'll just try to be as concise as possible with it. So go to that. That should be everything. I can go ahead and commit this, and then I can just like point a RenderDoc bug to my commit. Yeah, so that works. So commit everything. So add and remove blue box model with F2 and F3. Great. So yeah, I want to submit a RenderDoc bug real quick. What? Man, I say I want to submit a bug and it just seg faults on me. Anyway, so I do that, right? And so what happens is I click this one first, and then I click the index buffer, and it thinks there's only 36 elements total. I click this one, it still only thinks there's 36 elements total, right? Like it just doesn't understand, right? But then like, I don't know if I go there first. Like if I click on it from here, 41, okay. 41. But if I click on it from here, now it's 35. So yeah, index buffer, or wait, index buffer 41, 35. And maybe this is intended behavior. Oh, I'm so stupid. It's always something stupid. Yeah, okay. Render doc is working fine. I'm the one with the bug because I forgot that this field even exists. It's so weird. Like I feel like it should still tell you. I mean, I get why it gets trimmed like that, right? Like I get it because like if you're trying to do like relative positioning, it makes it really easy, so you don't have to like try to subtract 6 from all the values or something stupid like that. But oh man, does that get confusing sometimes. Okay, so there's not a render doc bug. I just don't know what I'm doing. Understandable. Anyway. Okay, so that's great then. This works, right? I can do make run. I can go here and I can hit F2, F3, and I can just create it and delete it all I want. Great. Now I want to add all the other models in. So let's go here and add all this stuff. Oh yeah, I want to fix the problem with like the non-existent buffer or something. Build this. Run it. Okay. And then I can do F2, F3. Yep, works great. Awesome. Yeah, so it's got some weird problem where, yeah, like a lot of the like instance buffers or something don't exist. It's kind of annoying to fix. Right, because yeah. Yeah, like the GPU buffers don't exist until you try to allocate something from them. I'll just put a note up here. Until you allocate from them. So if all objects and models are removed, then so if the engine runs without any models objects allocated, then are validation errors for missing buffers. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's, yeah, I don't think I really should like resolve that here. That's more like rewrite the render graph again for like the third time kind of fix. Because that's when I want to start like tracking dependencies and that sort of thing. So I could like automatically do synchronization and things like that. Okay, so this works, right? There's the status, right? So let's add this comments about non-existing GPU buffers. And so now I want to make sure model creation and deleting works. So it's not just this that I want to do, but I also want to remove the model dynamically. So let's say, yeah, so this blue box model right here. So I actually want to take this. Let's, yeah, just leave it like that, right? And then do this. And then say blue box model equals this. And then model manager. Do I not even have remove model? I don't even have remove model. Okay. Well, that's something. Model manager. Yeah, I have get model, pre-allocate, refresh, but I have no way to actually remove models other than just like delete model. Okay. So I go in here and do get models. Right, so this is a file system path to a model pointer, huh? Okay. I mean, yeah. Say void model manager remove model, and you take a model path, because apparently that's how I'm indexing these. This kind of code, if it's 0, then it's just 1. We're trying to remove non-existent model path. Then models dot erase model path. And well, hold on. All right, I'm gonna say model pointer model, and then I'll say like get model path. Do I want to do get model? No, I don't think so. Or yeah, because I don't want to like create the model if it doesn't exist, right? If right. If count equals 0, then warning trying to move or not non-existent model. Yeah, otherwise, so this is guaranteed to exist. So do this and then go. Actually, I can just say like delete, just like that. All right, so we can have get model and then remove model. And yeah, maybe I'll do like model IDs instead of paths like this. I'm not sure. But for the moment, I'll just do the path. So yeah, object. Yeah, so get model this thing. So really, I don't even need the variable. I just jam this right in here. That's fine for the most part. And then model manager remove model assets base path plus blue box gltf. Okay, so yeah, I want to remove it after I move the object. Yep. I'm expecting a seg fault here just because yeah, I haven't done anything with this code yet, so I will be astonished if this just works. Oh, it's working. It just works. I built it, right? Yeah, I built it. There is no way that that's actually working as intended. Right, so when I delete a model, what does the model destructor do? Delete scene, delete mesh, delete node, delete texture, delete sampler. Okay. What about the draw? Draw equals new draw. Does primitive have a destructor? No, it does not. Knew there was going to be something wrong. Yeah, primitive needs a destructor. Yeah, and then that's... Am I calling... Okay, hold on. Add instance, yeah, primitives. Write instance data. Primitive. Mesh. Okay, yeah, this is in place back. That's what I want to see. I just want to know if this is using new or not. But no, it's using Yeah, like these are just references to primitives. If I look up at yeah, mesh, yeah, vector primitives. Okay. Yeah, so when the primitive gets deleted, yes, then I need to delete all the other stuff. Also, do I have to do like asset free or something? Just think about that, right? Asset get if. Is this like a pointer to it? Yeah. I'm not freeing this. It's just like, is there like a not free or something? Fast GLTF. Is there like a free? No. Let me see. I would think I need to do something to free it. Load, parser, data error, return true, validate asset.get. I guess not. Because, yeah, like this is a pointer. Is it a smart pointer or something? Asset is parser load GLTF. What does this return? Expected asset. Okay. Yeah, it's passing it. It's doing it by reference. But no, but this is a pointer. Yeah. Just call delete asset. I don't know. I would assume that's good enough. Oh, right. Mesh primitive model mesh primitive. That one. There we go. Oh, and we got a seg fault. Probably when I try to delete the asset. That's annoying. Yeah, fast GLTF destroy. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this right now. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Yeah. Parent path options. I don't know. To do clean up GLTF asset. Or fast GLTF asset. The important one is cleaning up the draw here. So yeah, I'm only calling new. Yeah, I'm only calling new there. So now I want to delete the draw. Right, because I would think otherwise. Well, before I test this, I want to see after I delete it in render doc. Right, so like I'll create it and then delete it. And then I expect to still have the draw call in there, but with like 0 instances. Right, so this works. This does not crash. Okay. So I run this render doc. Yep. It's gone. And now, yeah, this thing, 36.0. Yeah, so see, this draw command is still here, but it has a 0 instance count. Yep. Okay. So that all makes sense. Now I need to actually delete the draw without seg faulting and with cleaning everything up. So, oh, it already exists. To do free instance data. Great. Allocators. Actually, do I need to free these? So, ideally, when you're deleting a model, you will have already deleted all the instances. However, that might not be the case. So, well, I mean, No, I'm not going to worry about that. That's way too much, right? Like clean up instances when like with the objects, right? Clean up the model with the draw. Trying to clean up instance data here is insane. Right. So here, yeah, I can pop off the indirect commands allocation, the material index allocation, and the instance indices allocator. That seems good. Index alloc, yeah, right. I also need to do this, the vertex and the index. So then let's say allocators dot vertex free vertex alloc allocators index free index alloc. I'm actually going to move these up here. Right, so I want this to be in like the same order, right? So here's vertex, here's index, and then indirect commands, yeah, and then material, and then indirect count, get. Right, yeah, this is like, yeah, so this is, where is it? VK, CMD, draw indexed indirect, yeah, draw indexed indirect count. Yeah, count buffer offset. So I'm just increasing the value in the count buffer. That's what this code is here. Yeah, and then set the instance count. Yeah, get, add, write. Yeah, so this needs to be like atomic fetch add, but this is a GPU, so it doesn't really work. Can I wrap something with an atomic? Plus wrap pointer in atomic. Like I doubt I can do this. Yeah. Oh, invalid. Maybe there's something I can do there. Safety, maybe turn the GPU pointer into an atomic. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and then instance indices allocator delete. Yep, and then register invalid. No, I don't think I need to do anything there. No, because that just runs this. Yeah, I don't want to do anything. Okay, so I think this should work now. Go ahead and run this. Hey, there we go. Yep, and now I'm like totally deleting and adding back the model from the disk every time. That's great. Let's make sure it's working in render doc. Because the draw should disappear. This would be the last one if it exists. Still here. Why is it still here? Oh, because I didn't decrease the size. That's why. Yeah. So this, right before this, I want to get it. Then I want to minus, and then I want to write it. That seems good. Because that's really the one that actually matters out of like all of it. Let's see if it still works. Yep. Render doc. And then let's Let's maybe do it a few times. Just kind of screw with it a bit. There we go. Wait, where? Okay, yeah, there's both of them. Right, so this is first capture. Should be gone now. Yeah, 53. What? Why is it still here? Yes, definitely should be gone now because like this should have changed. 196. 53. Mm, 196. Ugh. Definitely not getting things cleaned up. And also there's something about like when both keys are pressed at the same time, things like freak out. But anyway, yeah, it's like doing one per frame. So yeah, it's definitely not cleaning things up. So that's a problem. So yeah, why is this not getting cleaned up? Yeah, draw, that should be running. Go to model. This should be running. Say deleting draw. Let's make sure we're actually running things first. You can see where we're getting make run. Okay, it's not even running. Great. Why is this not even running? Right, actually, I should be putting this in here, but anyway, still, it's not running. So that means the primitive destructor isn't running, which would mean that the right, and the primitives just exist here. Yeah, like this. It should call the destructor when this gets deleted, right? Since these are like these are just value classes. Yeah, I shouldn't have to call delete here. Okay. Or maybe does vector call destructor automatically also calling the destructor the objects contained? Yeah. So it should definitely call the destructor here. And then mesh. Okay, but here we go. See this? No. Because when I go here, when I'm deleting the model, saying, hey, for mesh and meshes, if mesh has value, delete mesh. And I know this is running because I got the crash with the asset. So that's weird. Let's go here, right? Let's say deleting mesh. And then deleting primitive. No, we already have deleting draw. Deleting primitive. Nothing. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. I didn't even get manager. I didn't get a warning, but I did delete for model and models. Delete model. Yeah, like this should have when the model manager destructor gets called. Like it should be. Like, is this never saying mesh has value? But then that seems even stranger. Deleting model. Because like if the mesh didn't have a value, then it shouldn't have drawn in the first place, or I'd get like weird error. Like, it doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense, but that usually means it's something stupid. So. Okay, there we go. Deleting model, deleting model, deleting model. And delete a whole bunch of models, right? So I'm getting here. And it's saying for mesh and meshes. And mesh has value, delete mesh. But I never get here. How do I never get here? Right? Because I assume it's like else. Like mesh doesn't have value. Yeah, so I'm just deleting model, right? And that'll spam it or whatever, but. So, like, meshes is empty. Delete scene. Yeah. Like, there's no meshes. Doesn't make any sense. Load meshes. Like, am I not setting? Maybe I'm not setting it or something, but then I don't know how everything else is working. Yeah, mesh. Reserve. Okay, these are pointers. I don't care. You can be resized. Yeah. See, something stupid. It's always something stupid. And usually it's because I'm doing reserve and not resize. You should also be resize. Yeah, because these are all... Yeah, okay, these are pointers. I don't care. Right? Like the problem with reserve and resize is when it's not a pointer, like resize will call the default constructor and you can get all kinds of weird crap with that. So like that's a problem there, right? So here I'm doing pushback, so that's fine. Yeah, here I don't really want to do pushback. Yeah, because I need this. Yeah, and then here, I guess I can do pushback here, but whatever, this is fine. This is technically faster. Okay. So there's scene, right, so scenes is resize. So that's good. Node is resize, mesh is resize, texture and sampler, okay. So this should work now. I mean, it might segfault for other reasons, but it should at least call things. Okay. Hey, that looks good. Right, I'm going to draw. Get rid of that. Okay. Then rebuild this, then run it through RenderDoc. So if I do this, yeah, and I can just like spam it or whatever. So if there is a problem, let's see, how much does spamming it decrease my FPS? Wow, that's actually, it's doing like a big hit to my FPS. It's like 30 FPS. 53, yeah, okay. Well, this one's still broken. First instance, oh man, that's screwed up. And this isn't a multi-threading thing because it's only happening on one thread. But this should definitely not still exist. Yeah. Instance count 0. If that wasn't 0, we would have got like a GPU hang or something, probably because of this. How do we still have 1? I don't understand. If I, instead of spamming it, I just do it simply. So create, destroy, capture. Get rid of that. 53. Yeah, it's still here. Doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I'm calling this, and I'm decreasing size, and I'm writing it back to the indirect count alloc. How does this not work? I don't understand. Like, how is this possible for this to not be working? It's like the simplest thing I can do. Yeah, and it is this one. Yeah, because that's 36. That's just a box. Yeah, it's the only other one. It's weird because I only have one extra. Am I creating the model up here or something stupid like that? Am I creating the model twice? Model manager get model. Model manager remove model. Right. Delete get model models erase. No, it should be fine. I'm checking it here and I'm doing else. So it has to exist. And so that means I have to be going down this path. And I guess really this should just say like models.at. I probably should say that anyway. That's a little cleaner. But yeah, delete models.at and then models erase. Right, and so I delete the model, right, and everything runs, but this is still here. Right, so I think it's getting deleted. It's just this count isn't getting updated, but that's not quite right because I know the count is getting updated because I didn't have like 100 whatever count like I did before. But I still have this one. It's like I just have one extra. If I run this without creating it, right, just sanity check. So I never hit F2. Okay, yeah, 52. That makes sense. All right, but then I create it and I delete it. And I created and deleted a whole bunch. And spam things, whatever, right? So it's gone. Get that. And it's 53. It's not 153, it's just 53. So it's like it's not getting rid of the last one or the first one or whatever. Right, so new size, right? So how this would work is I'd get this count out of the buffer, right? And somehow I think I have to be like initializing that to 0 somewhere, right? Am I not initializing this to 0? That might. I mean, I don't think that would be exactly the problem, but deleting primitive. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, but all that code was running, so. I don't kind of lost track. Yeah, so I wanted to see where all that's being used. So let's grep RNI indirect count alloc. Yep, it's just here. And then this draw allocator's alloc. So I'm not actually setting it to 0. So I need to be doing that anyway. Yeah, draw allocators dot indirect count. Yeah, create buffer, indirect count, and then I'm allocating from it. So I'm actually making the buffer. It's just a fixed allocator of one size of uint32t. That's fine. I'm going to say draw allocators, indirect count alloc, right, that should be uint32t, 0 equals 0, and 0 cannot take, or yeah, 0 like that. That's what I want. Okay, so that should 0 it out, but I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, uint32t, yeah. No, like I'm using size t here, but no, that's not it. Right, get that size, decrease it. Oh yeah, this also, if new size is not equal to, no, it should never be equal to 0. Yeah, I'm gonna like warn or something if it is. Else, see how warning. Tried to go below 0 draws. Shouldn't be here. That's fine. Hopefully this never happens, but never know. Especially once I start doing like multi-threading, I could definitely have some weird problem. Anyway, so get it. If new size is not equal to 0, then decrease it and then write it. Yep. So how does this not work? This is like literally the same thing I'm doing up here. Get. Yeah, this takes a pointer that it like copies it into or something. Indirect count alloc. Yeah, this is like a fixed allocator, right? But you just return a sub allocation, so this code doesn't matter. Yeah, it's here. It's like whatever this get is. This. Yeah, DST is this get, which is source offset, byte size. Yeah, so I'm just stacking offsets into this thing, right? And then I go down to the GPU and I say like GPU get or something. Yeah, GPU get destination offset byte size. And so copy from the GPU pointer with the size, which should be like 4 or something, into there. So that makes sense. Then I'm just going to print this stuff out then. Got indirect count from GPU size, writing indirect count to GPU new size. Let's see. Writing 52. Okay, did it a whole bunch, but yeah, writing 52. 543210. Yep. So it said it was writing 52, but somehow it didn't get written. That buffer should never get reallocated. I have no idea what's going on. Right, because... Wait, now it's 52. What? I didn't do anything. I mean, I did the non-zero thing, but like... Like, I don't think this is another case of like me not knowing how to use RenderDoc, because like that's just not an option to... What? What? I am befuddled. Oh, hey Colin. I'm trying to figure out why things are working now because it randomly fixed itself, and I don't know why. So if I show you what I'm doing here, just a second. Yeah, so this is 52, right? So I'm trying to dynamically add and remove objects and models from my game engine, and I got objects working, and apparently I got models working, but I don't know how because so you see here, I don't know how well this shows up, but this says like 52 right here, and that's because I have 52 different types of models on the screen, right? So like this box, right? Even though I have a million boxes, there's like only one box model. And then like it's not really model, it's actually like primitive. Um, and so like I have like this chessboard up here, and so like different parts of the chessboard can be like different primitives, right? So that's why there's like 52 and not 7. Anyway, so this says 52, right? But earlier when I was adding and removing models, it was staying at like 53, which means that like for some reason this model isn't getting deleted. And I did absolutely nothing except like add some prints, like add these print statements, and then it just started working. And so now I'm about to get rid of the print statements and see if it's still showing me like 53 or 52. I didn't do anything. It just fixed itself. Anyway, so I'm running this. Right, so I can press F2 and F3, you see, and this box appears and disappears. And that's, yeah, so I can like dynamically add and remove stuff. And this is why I rewrote the engine, is because I couldn't do this in the old one. But now I got this working. Except, yeah, so I'm doing this now. Right, and then let me open this up in RenderDoc, which lets you actually view the GPU buffers and stuff like that. So if I'm in here, right, I can create it, destroy it, and then let me view the buffer. And then, yeah, so I took a capture of it in RenderDoc, load this up, and it's 52. Okay, I did absolutely nothing, and it randomly fixed itself. I don't know. Whatever. Sure. Like, maybe I just forgot to compile it or something? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But still, like, I don't know. Oh, man. But, yeah, everything else seems to be working for this. So, let me build it, like, as it is now. Run this. Yep, I can add and remove just fine. And then open up in RenderDoc one more time. Yep, I can still add and remove. Check this. Or maybe it was just when, I wonder. Because, like, if I hold down the keys, it's, the way I'm like checking the keys for adding or removing it, it's really weird. And so maybe if, like, it's when I'm holding down the keys, that it kind of screws with things. So let me see if that was the case, right? So if I check this one, this is the latest one after I was holding them down. No, it's still 52. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Well, anyway, everything's working. So I just don't know why it fixed itself. Yeah, so let's commit all these changes. That's fine. That's fine. Else, no, I don't care about that. No. Yep, that's fine. Yep. Yes. Could this run Doom? Courier 9. Is that Adam? I don't know. You could make Doom for, like, I think, clone the exterminator. Yeah. Are there like Doom GLTF assets? Yeah, so someone or plasma gun Doom models. Yeah, I think someone so the like file format I'm using for like all the scenes and stuff is called GLTF, and it looks like at some point someone ported Doom to GLTF files somewhat. So yeah, this could run Doom. You just have to get it working. Yeah, like Doom GLTF. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, here we go. WAD to GLTF. Yep. So I could take all the Doom stuff, turn it into GLTF, and then there's probably still like some game logic and scripting stuff that I'd have to write myself. So it's not exactly like, can it run Doom? Like I can't just straight up run a WAD file because I still need the logic and all that. It's not an emulator. But anyway, committing things, remove model, yes. Yes. I mean, this might have been what fixed it, maybe. Because I'm like zeroing out the buffer first. Anyway, yeah, remove that. Yep. And then there was, what else did I miss? Yeah, I just got rid of that. That's fine. Yep. So I can commit all this, adding and removing models. Sweet. And so now, like, this is what I've been working on for a while, is getting to this point where I can actually do this. So I need to figure out what I want to do next. So I have like to-do list on my phone. So okay, easy thing to do right now is get the frame rate counter working, right? So up here you just see I only have objects. Oh yeah, and this objects counter isn't updating when I'm creating a new one, right? So I need to get, I don't know how well it actually shows up on stream, but it says objects at the top up here. And I can get that working better and also get like a frame rate counter and that sort of thing. So let's see. Let's see, somewhere I'm writing that to, where is it? Yeah, so if settings show FPS, right? So this needs to go like down here somewhere. Yeah, legible. Okay. Yeah, so if settings show FPS, then at least update the object. So let's see if that should at least update the object count when I'm creating and deleting them. Then I can get the frame rate counter working. Yep, so there we go. Now it's C6565. Yep. So I have 10,000,006 and then 10,000,005. Great. And so now I want to get the frame rate counter working. And I know I did, yeah. So I basically have the frame rate stuff. This is like the old engine code down here. So I'm just going to copy and paste from that. Yeah, so query pool, right. So frame time. Frame time. How am I getting title frame time? Okay, I see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's fine. That's actually easy then. And just like copy paste a bunch of this code for doing the frame time. So this should start here. I just want to call this frame time. And then here, yeah, right here. Or, oh wait, title frame time, frame time. Okay, I see. So current time. Okay, yeah, and then there's frame time. Am I using this? Update transform. Okay. So then, yeah, then let's just call this title frame time. That's fine. So what this is doing here to actually calculate the FPS is title frame time. There we go. So I'm running through the I'm getting like so on every, this is like the start of the frame, and then I get the current time, and then I subtract that from the start time, right? And then the start time, it gets like, this is either like the beginning on like the first frame, this will be like when the engine started, or yeah, it'll be like what this right here when this gets called. But then after, at like the end of the frame, then I update start time to be like whatever this current time is, right? So it just keeps updating. So basically, like, this gets me the time that the frame, like that the whole previous frame took. And then here, yeah, if it's yeah, so what, and then what this is doing is this kind of smooths out the frame time a bit. So I'm only taking, like, I'm setting the title frame time. I'm like weighting it by 95%, and then I'm only taking like 5% of the frame time. And so what that is like, it kind of does like a rolling average. So if you have like one frame that took like 1,000 milliseconds, and the next frame took like 0 milliseconds or something, I don't know, right? Like if it has a lot of spikes, then it could be basically so hard to read that, especially when it's running at like 5,000 FPS or something, because it's just like changing every frame. So doing it like this makes it a little easier to read. Like, it's technically less accurate. Like if you want to do like a whole frame by frame time chart, you wouldn't do it this way. You just do the raw frame time. But for actually like trying to display it and read it back, I don't need the value going crazy every frame. I just need it to be somewhat reasonable. Yeah, so this is like a rolling average. And then down here, title, objects, yeah. And then so this code here is just for actually outputting the frame time or whatever I want really to the title. What distro am I running? I'm on NixOS right now. I've used Arch in the past a lot. That's like, if you're looking for a recommendation, I actually recommend to go with Arch and not NixOS, because NixOS has a lot of really it can be very annoying to use sometimes. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but it can definitely have some problems. Anyway, so here's set window title, and then objects frame time. Actually, yeah, I'll make all these capital or lowercase. I guess I'll just make capital letter. Objects, oh yeah, and then I need to set, yeah, just put a space there. That's good. So now I can run this. And there we go. Now we got a frame rate. I'm not quite sure how readable that is, or frame time. So that's like 1.7 milliseconds. And you can see it's probably really not showing up on camera that well. But it is like jumping around a lot. And so that's what that like rolling average helps with a bit. But so yeah, it's taking like 1.8 milliseconds per frame right now. Yeah, and I think the driver actually implements like its own culling. So that's why, like, I don't have any culling code enabled right now. But that's why, like, when I look at this, it's taking 8 milliseconds. But when I look away, it's like 1.7. So I'll have my own culling code eventually. But yeah, I'm using the radv driver. Yeah, almost legible. Let me see if I can. If I change this to like, I don't know, 98 or something, and change this to like 2, then that should slow down the update rate and should make it slightly more legible. Yeah, precision 2 is fine. And then also I wanted to do the frame rate, and that's just 1 over the frame time. So let's go up here. Didn't copy it right, or whatever. Frame rate. One over title frame time. Set window title. Yeah, right there. Actually, I don't need that. Yeah, you know what? I'll put the space at the end of this. That's a little cleaner. And then I'll just do it like this. There we go. That's cleaner overall. So let's try this now. All right, there we go. So I've got 1.8 milliseconds frame time, 500 something FPS. Yeah, and then I look here, then it drops down to like 170, 140, something like that. Yeah, so that's great. Can move around, and then this add and remove still works. Yeah, and so you can see at the top here, the object count changes. I can add and remove. So, and yeah, just got that working. So that's great. I'm going to go ahead and commit these changes. Picked up SpongeBob popsicle Legos. And I wonder, you can get like a SpongeBob ice cream mold thing. Frame rate and object counter. Okay, so that's frame rate. So let me check on my to-do list again. And actually, I need to go stir my rice that I'm cooking. I will be back in like 1 minute. All right. So, okay, or is it just Colin here now? I don't know. I don't know who D Emperor Music was. I don't know if that was you or Adam or someone else. But apparently he's not in the chat anymore. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, so let me pull up my to-do list. Oh, I didn't close my door. Yep, so take frame rate counter off. Okay. Right, so two things are, or one big thing is animations. And another thing I want to get working is I want to have like some kind of light object. So right now, all the lighting is done. I just have it like built straight into the fragment shader here. Right, so I have like these light positions and light colors. And so I want to actually just have like some lights that I pass into it instead of manually specifying here, because then I can like dynamically add or remove lights just like anything else. So let's see, I'm gonna need, I guess first let me like try to convert these to like a struct or something. So yeah, it's just like the same way I do this in C++. So copy this stuff to the top actually. Right. So there's the lights. And then let's just make a struct light, that's fine. And then this could be a vec3 position, vec3 color, and then, okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna want an array of lights. lights of light count. Yeah. So I'd say like lights. Yeah, so down here, so where am I actually using the lights? Yeah, so I have light count here, and then I have light positions. So, and then I have like light color. So light positions, I use it there, and then I use it there and there. Okay, and then I think I just use light color just there. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So now let's just say light equals lights of I, and then I want to say light dot position, light position, light color. Okay, so that'll work there. And then I have this lights of light count. That makes sense. Yeah, so light count is there. So then I want to actually do this as a buffer. So, and I want textures to be last. So, yeah, and then if I go here. Yeah, so I think I want to call, I'm going to go here, I want to say layout set to binding 0, the uniform buffer. Let's put light up the top. Position color. So uniform buffer made of lights. We're going to call this lights. Right, and then I also need to pass in light count. And so let's do another one of these. And can I don't know if I can do it like this, and I can just say like light count. That might work. I'm not sure. Look at how. So in the vertex shader, I have this like uniform globals. So that's also something. But I think I should be able to pass it in like this. And then, yeah, and so one thing that's nice about my engine is I'm using shader reflection stuff. And so because of that, oh, this is U32T, this is U, yeah. And because I'm doing shader reflection, it's really easy. I'm like reading these, the set and binding and stuff like that out of the shader. And so I have to do like very little manual setup for the shader. All I have to do, I think, is just like create a buffer on the CPU side, or like create a buffer on the GPU and name it lights or name it light count. And then the engine will take care of everything else, like actually hooking it into the shader, which is great. So in renderer, in here, yeah, create data buffers. That's fine. I can put it here. So I can say, let's see, I want to make a new buffer. Create buffer. This is going to be a uniform buffer bit. Yeah, or this needs to be a storage buffer. Because I don't actually remember exactly how the difference works. Yeah, I might do it like this, right? Read-only buffer. Yeah, let's do it like that. Read-only buffer, light, or lights. Yeah, and then light count. I don't know how easy it is to just pass in one value like this. Like I know I can do it through the vertex shader just fine. Right, and then I think I had some stuff in my compute shaders that was like that. Yeah. I had uniform constants. Okay, this is yeah, I can just do a push constant. That's a lot better. Yep. Yeah, it's much better than trying to have it in a buffer like this. So let's just do a push constant. constants and call this light count. And I haven't tested push constants yet, I don't think. And so this should be a good test for this. Yeah. So light count, lights. And so my engine should actually just crash if I try to run this. Because it should tell me, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, it couldn't even compile the shader. Buffer binding requires block, sampler image, or atomic counter type. So this was on line 25. Oh, also, these should be in order. And then, what do I not like about this? Layout, read-only buffer. Oh, right, it needs to be, how does the syntax work? Right, read-only buffer, and then I have to wrap it. So, yeah, call this lights. And then I call this light. Yeah, the syntax is a little strange, but this is what it wants. So, whatever. But yeah, this is like the third-party shader compiler. This isn't my code that makes it look like this. This is just how GLSL works. Yeah, so lights. Okay. There we go. And this will probably crash. Yes. Creating buffers in descriptor update is unsupported. Yeah, because I didn't make the lights buffer yet. Great. Yep. So this should be a storage buffer. And then the arguments, this should be device local host visible. And then the name should just be lights. Right. So that's the lights buffer itself. And then I still need to upload lights to it. And then I also need to get the push constant working for the size of this buffer. So let me see. How am I handling push constants? Push has put. It's in here somewhere. Load buffer. Okay. Or no, those are specialization constants. Those are different. Image samplers. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so push constant buffers. So I'm setting push constant range, so the size. Okay. Yeah. How does this work again? Get the name of the type. Okay. And then go into the pipeline. Yeah, so here's the push constant ranges. Yeah, so I'm getting the push constant data from the shader. And then, yeah, but I still need to upload the push constant to the GPU. Try to remember how all that works. I'm doing it in the old engine. It's in the render graph. Okay, here we go. Yeah, push constants. So if shader has push constants, if it's not allocated, allocate the memory. Okay, I see what I'm doing here. This is cool. Then set push constants from the shader and get the pointer from the global map. So do push constants, pipeline layout, stage, offset, size. Offset, it's a little weird. Shader dot push constant name dot get. Okay, so basically what I need to do is I might not need to do this here. Or when does this run? Okay, so this is when I'm creating the pipeline in the graphics pass. So then after I create the pipeline, what I need to do is edit this push constants buffer. And so, and this just has some data in it. And so, yeah, and I'm allocating a pointer. So this push constants thing here is, well, it's a map of names to pointers. And then, and so the name there is the name that I give it in the shader. So in here, it should just be called like constants or something. So maybe I just want to call this, I don't know, frag const or something. I'm not sure, because that's like a global name. So I can call it, so then I can look at here, look at this map and look for frag const, and then that will give me a pointer, and then I can just write the data to that pointer, and then the engine will take care of everything else. So it's actually really nice. Because before in the old engine, I had to do all kinds of complicated stuff like create custom objects, like there's custom structs specifically for each push constant. And now here I'm just like, did I hit caps lock or something? Now here I'm just making the pointer of the size I need. So yeah, I want to see, can I access this somehow with the render graph? Go here. So yeah, it looks like I don't have anything to actually set a push constant right now. And I think I'd want to do that from the renderer. Yeah, add dynamic node. Yep. So it would be like right after this graphics pass happens. And really I just need to do it after I create the render graph. Then I can set the push constant values for the lights and all that. And so the render graph gets created here. Okay, after I create the renderer. And so that means if I go up here, so it just has to happen after, where am I creating the renderer? Run if new renderer. Here we go, if new renderer. Yeah, so it just happens anytime after this and before I actually try to render it. So that's great, because then that I can just write that push constant. And also what I can do, I can also set something up, since that's specifically just the size, I can maybe set something up so that every frame it'll just like dynamically get the size of the buffer from the buffer. And then I don't even have to think about it anymore. So that'd be nice too, but first I want to get it so I can actually set the value. So first I need to have a value to set, and so I have this buffer created for lights. And then if I want to add a new light, so how do I, just think about how I want to like abstract this out back to the user. Right, so I have this buffer for lights, and this buffer at least, yeah, this needs to exist before before I actually create the render graph. Otherwise, I get this error about creating buffers in descriptor update is unsupported. And that's because like it'll try to bind like a null buffer or something. And that's just something I need to fix. But for now, I have to create it here at least, which is fine. So maybe I want to, yeah, I think what I want to do, I want a new file here. I want to call this light, and then light HPP. Light, or this one. There we go. So I want a new class. I'm going to call this light, and then light. Yeah, and so this is going to publicly inherit from object and include object. There we go. There we go. So a light is just an object. And then I actually want to do with this, right? Because I can like set position. So I want to have set color. Have set color, or yeah, or how am I doing this with regular objects? Yeah, okay. So in the same way I have like position, rotation, scale, I want to say void color. This takes, yeah, just a vec3 is fine. Let's reference new color. And then, okay, and then this light, this actually needs to take a buffer to write its light data to. So, and that's just a string actually. Light buffer name. And actually that needs to be public. And this can be private. And then light buffer name. Right, so there's color, and then I want to have get color. Reference color. This is return color. Yeah, and then under here, this can have struct GPU light or something. I don't know what to call it. And this needs to look the same as this here. And so this is a GLM vec3 position, and this is a vec3 color. And then because of there's like memory alignment stuff specific to the GPU, and it's aligned to 16 bytes, and the vec3 is only 12 bytes, so I have to have some padding here. Otherwise, there'll be some problems with this. Yeah, pretty sure that's in the right layout. So that should work there for GPU light. Yeah, and so color should actually be, yeah, so there's color and position. Right, and then I want to say GPU light data. Return light data color. Actually, I want to rename this to be underscore light data. Here we go. That should work. Yeah, and so position. So, let's set the position. So, like usually with the position, I would just use this like object position stuff that's built in, and I do need to use that because that'll update like the position buffer for the object, for the light and all that. But the problem is I need the position to be here as well. So if I can just overwrite position. Yeah, and I don't remember exactly how inheritance stuff in C++ works. Like, can I just call, like, because I'm publicly inheriting object, I'm pretty sure this is just overrides. So that should be fine. But, like, I should still be able to call rotation, scale, Euler, all this stuff should still exist. Yeah, so position, return, position, yeah. But then when I actually go in here, right, and I go light, right, so I need light, and then include light HPP. Line definition, yeah. Like this. Yeah. Must explicitly initialize object. Yeah, we'll get to that. But what I want to do here is say light position and then light color, right? And so, yeah, I don't know if I'm overriding this. I don't know if I can like call the parent class method. I don't think it works like that. So I'm overriding these. Not sure. That should look like that. This should look like this. Okay, so then color. Let me do this first, right? So I'd say like object and then give it an actual object constructor. Yeah, need to give it a model and then invalid objects. So this needs a model pointer model and then vector of object pointer references invalid objects. I'm going to say object model invalid objects. There we go. What's this? No matching constructor for initialization of object. That should be fine. Object pointer. Yeah. Not sure why that's upset with me. Because that should be fine. Okay, maybe when I fix this, it'll fix itself. How's that? No? That's weird. That should be working. So candidate, model pointer, no known conversion from argument 2. It should pass by reference. No candidate expects one argument to provide it. No. No known conversion from argument 2 from vector of objects to vector of object references. Do I need to say like that? No. What's the problem here? I'm not sure why it's not working. It's like, oh, safe vector. That's why. Right, that makes sense. There we go. Safe vector reference. There we go. That's working. Great. Everything's working. So, how do I access like the parent function? Is this even a thing? Parent method. Okay. I see. So left, right, base foo ambiguous. And foo is not call for this. Calls that from left. Yeah. So I think I just want to say like object position, new position. Okay, so that'll update the object's position, and then I also need the light's position because this is for like the model matrix and all of that. And so yeah, ideally I would probably think about this. Yeah, ideally I wouldn't be having the position stored in 2 different places, but I think yeah, trying to like read it out of the instance buffer, I think that's just way too complicated. This is much simpler to just have stored in 2 places. And it's really not that much data. Like even if a million lights, it's 12 megabytes, so who cares? Yeah, so position, and then I want to say light data position equals new position. There we go. And then light data color equals new color. Great. Yeah, and then object should handle everything else. And then all I need to do is have a have some way to like actually upload this light data to the GPU. So in the same way that I have the so an object, right? Like I have this refresh instance data register and valid matrices, right? So this is for updating the transform. And so this is actually kind of complicated because this is for doing it like in batch multi-threading, like just um, like kind of doing it in chunks. So like if I have to update a million objects, then I'll split the objects between the number of threads you give it. So I think I'm giving it like 10 threads right now or something. And so like each thread will process 100,000 objects, and it'll go through and like do all this stuff. Um, but because this is lights, you're not gonna have 100,000 lights because you're gonna run into all kinds of frame rate problems before that. At least for right now. So I don't need to do any fancy multi-threading stuff. I can just probably do this in line and it'll be fine. So yeah, when that updates, right? So I want to say void light right right light, I guess. That's fine. So let's see. I'm gonna need some kind of in here. I'm gonna need some way to get an allocation from that lights buffer. So yeah, so I have light buffer name. And I don't know, yeah, because I should be able to say is it why am I storing all the buffers again? It's like, is it the GPU allocator thing from RenderGraph? Yeah, like I need GPU allocator, but how do I actually get a buffer? Apparently I can just globally use GPU allocator. Okay. Sweet. So I can just say, no, undeclared identifier. Okay, where am I declaring that? Is it in renderer? GPU allocator. Right, but where is that coming from? Let's P go to implementation. No, let's P go to type definition. No, okay, it's right here. So I need to include base allocator. Okay. Include, what would this be? Allocator, base allocator. There we go. Now I can do like get buffer or something. Do a few arguments, light buffer name. Great. So yeah, I want an allocation from this. So get buffer. All right, so this is actually the raw buffer. Maybe that's not what I want. I want a, I need a contiguous fixed allocator off of this. So let's go back to renderer. All right, so I have lights. And then I also need to say, let's do auto for the moment. Light allocator equals new contiguous fixed allocator. Type name, you should figure that out on your own. That there, and then these are going to be size of light, GPU light. It's probably going to complain about things being private or something. Include light HPP. Let's see. Okay, there's that, and you're probably complaining because you're private. Yep. So let's make that public. GPU light. Yeah, that's fine. Just put it here. Okay, so then there's the light allocator. And so what this needs to be is a, these types are always really complicated. Okay, it's, contiguous fixed allocator on a GPU allocation. Pointer light allocator, is that right? Viable pointers here. There we go. So now I need some way to keep track of this light allocator and then remove it when I'm done. So actually, I think I probably want to be creating this in objects maybe. So does this have to exist? So I'd like to actually manage this light allocator in objects because I'm gonna have like object add light, and so that's where I should be owning the lifetime of this. However, I do need the lights buffer to exist before, maybe not. Go in shader, or is it pipeline? Or was it render graph? I don't remember. So down here, shader, yeah, push constants name dot get, add node, push constants. Yeah. So if the memory isn't allocated, allocate it. Oh, yeah, so that's actually fine. That's fine there. Right, but then when I go and I create the pipeline, well, that should only happen when I run pipeline update. So, yeah, and that should only run at the start of the frame. So maybe I don't need to put it there. I'm going to try putting it in. Try moving this into Object Manager. I'm going to see if I get errors. So Object Manager, yeah, start this up, figure all this stuff out, include light, and you need GPU allocator. Okay, somehow. How is that not included? Okay. Allocator, base allocator. There we go. Yeah, so create lights and give me this light allocator. And this actually needs to go in here. And because of that, I need this. Yeah, I probably need both of these. Both of these to go in here. Then let's say light allocator is this. Undeclared variable. Right. It's private, so underscore. And yeah, and this is like some weird clang problem. Can I get rid of this real quick? What is it upset about? Do I just need to say like vector here, make clang be quiet? No. What is objects? Standard vector for object pointers, yeah. I don't know. Clang's just very upset with this, but whatever. Yeah, so light allocator, create buffer. Yeah, so all this should be fine. Maybe I'll have a problem, I'm not sure. So we go into light. Yeah, so write light, get buffer. So I don't want to do get buffer. What I want to do is I want to pass in the allocator for this. So this should be a contiguous fixed allocator on top of a GPU allocation pointer. We're going to call this light allocator. And I'm going to store this light allocator. And then we're going to say light alloc equals light allocator alloc, something like that. Yeah, and then write light would be like light alloc write underscore light data. Yeah, be something like that. And then here I'll do write light and write light. Okay, now I need to do the headers for all this stuff. this. And then light allocator. Okay, how much does that fix? A lot. Okay, will be initialized after object. Okay, I wasn't sure about the order here, but it does look like this one goes first. Okay. And then light alloc. Yeah, this is a sub allocation on top of a contiguous. I forget how those types work. Those are terrible. What is it? I think I have something in draw. Should show me how the types work. Yeah, this is awful. Oh man. Yeah. So it's contiguous fixed allocator on a GPU allocation. Allocation pointer. I'm gonna call this light alloc. And then I just need write light. There we go. I can move this out of here. Okay. Yeah, so the light allocator, I can write it. I get the allocation, write it to the allocation, right, and then I need to free the allocation here. Light alloc, is it? Free these again? Do I just call delete on this? Is that it? Right? Do I just call delete or is it something else? Allocators vertex free. Yeah, so I have to go back to the allocator and tell the allocator to free it. Okay. Maybe I can make that a little better, but this is fine. Light allocator. Right, this is pop and swap, not free. And you take this light alloc. There we go. Okay. So that should handle everything with the light on this side. And then now I want Object Manager. You need to keep track of lights. Yeah, I'll do these separately from objects. So I'll say size T, add light. So this is going to take, yeah, just a model, I guess. And then light pointer, get light. And you take in a light ID. Okay. Get object count, get object. Okay, put this here. Or maybe just put it at the bottom. So add light, get light. So yeah, I should have like add object. I just want to copy paste this basically. Right, and this is object manager add light and object manager get light. So add light, get light. Getting these. So these need to be. Am I keeping track of lights in here? No. So the same way I have a vector of object pointers, I need a bunch of lights. Okay. And then instead of objects pushback, this is lights pushback. This is new lights. And this actually should still be invalid objects. There we go. And then I need the light allocator. There we go. light size -1. Get lights. Return lights of light ID. There. I guess I can do it like this. There. Okay, so I should be able to add a light and get a light, and then I should be able to set its position, its color, all of that. The buffer should get created. Oh, I need to set the push constant for the size. I think that's the last thing I need to do. And so, yeah. So I'm allocating this. I'm allocating the memory for the push constant when the render graph gets created, or after the render pass, which is in like create render graph or something. Yeah, down here. So after that happens, then I'm free to modify the push constant however I want. And so what I want to do, I guess I can just say at the beginning of the frame, I can update the light count. That's probably the simplest thing to do for the moment. So how do I want to do this? I guess I need to get the object manager. I need to get like the light count from the object manager. Can I get object manager? No. I mean, I could probably do it in C++ as well. Yeah, so it's like refresh invalid objects. Maybe I could just say update light count. Right, but then that has to tie back to the render graph, right? So I need some more like tighter coupling between the render graph and the object manager. So I'm trying to figure out how to do now. So what I actually need out of here is the graph renderer. Yeah, so push constant, right? So this is what I need. And so set push constant. Oh, great, I already have this. Perfect. So I should have to say like render graph set push constant, call it like frag lights or whatever I called it up here. Frag const. Yeah. That's fine. Frag const is fine. And then data, or let's just say triangle frag. Yeah, maybe I could just make this instead of using like the push constant buffer name, I could just use like the file name or something, but whatever, those are little details. Yeah, and so I can just write the data straight to it, which is great. Like I don't have to worry about types. So I mean, from object manager, if I don't have access to the render graph here, so maybe I should do it up here. Right, so right before I render, I want to say renderer. Like I want to say render graph, and then like set push constant. Let's call this triangle frag, and then this just needs to be the size of the lights, and I'll get that from the object manager. Yeah, that should be like light count or something. Object manager light count. So that's the easy one. Just go in here, add light, get light, size t, light count is return lights.size. Yeah, that's right. Right, and then now I need to access the render graph. Can I mark this as const? Because I'm not modifying reinterpret cast. Oh man, probably not. Yeah, no, that's definitely not const. Okay, it's a little annoying, but I'm pretty sure I can't say this, right? Yeah, I can. So I can say like renderer. Yeah, it's render graph. So I'd like to do it in here just so I can keep the public, private, all that. If that makes sense, right? And so I can say like render graph set push constant triangle frag. But then where do I get this from, right? So I need to say like object manager light count, right? But I mean, doing it here is more clear as well. I just don't want to like pass the render graph as like a public variable, I guess. But I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's just go in here and make this public. That's fine. Yeah, that's the simplest solution. Okay, so render graph set push constant light count. So this should work. This may crash me when I run it. Hopefully I can recover and I don't like totally lose the stream. We shall see. Right, and I haven't actually added any lights yet, so there might be something about like the buffer doesn't get allocated. So that would be understandable if I get like some weird error about the buffer doesn't exist. Yep. Yeah, so I'm just getting a whole bunch of buffer doesn't exist, but everything else works fine. And yeah, and so now I actually don't have any lights because I'm trying to read them from the buffer. So that's understandable. Yeah, buffer is null handle. Okay. So I just need to add some lights. So let's say object manager, add light, and I can give it a model. Okay, I'm going to figure out a model for the lights. Yeah, right. So I want to get this the ID for this. Size T. Actually, I want to do a few of these, right? So I want to say for Ti 0, I is less than I don't know 3 plus I. Add light, and then let's just say vector size T lights, and then lights of I. What's this? Here we go. Okay, so now I just need a model for the lights. So let's see, GLTF light bulb model, something. Free light bulb models. Yeah, that one's looks fine, I guess. Yeah, and they're not going to change color and all that. Yeah, there's definitely some work I can do here, but yeah, this one looks fine. Store details. It says it's free. Yeah, just download. View cart. What? What? Just let me download it. It's free. I just want like the simplest light bulb ever. I guess this is good enough. Free download. 70. This is garbage. I have to watch enough ads to pay for the download. Terrible. Let me look at the GLTF sample assets, because I know I looked in here before for a light and I couldn't really find anything, but if I look again. Directional light. No, but this is like doing lights in GLTF. This is different. Yeah, this is the light extension. Yeah, mesh one. Okay, so this thing actually has a mesh built into it. So yeah, it's in this binary file though. Yeah. Iridescent lamp? No, but this is like an actual desk lamp. Yeah, no, no. Lantern. Yeah, I looked at lantern before. It's like way too much. What does this look like? Yeah, like I just want like a sphere of light. I don't know, whatever. Um, yeah, and actually, eventually, I think I do want to get rid of because like I want the light texture to also change color. Um, I think I'll like kind of get rid of this specifically, and I'll just get like the position from the instance model matrix, and I'll get the color from the material. So that'll be cool. But I'm not gonna do that right now. Anyway, did this crap download yet? It doesn't even have GLTF. Oh my god. Just want a simple light bulb model. Like, why is it so complicated? Sure, 12. No, C4D dot blend. No, I don't even see GLTF on here. Why is this turning out to be like the most difficult part of this? Is just finding the most basic light bulb. All right, you know what? It's gonna be a duck because can I do everything here? Is this using any extensions? No. All right. Our light is gonna be a duck because everything else is way too annoying. Let's move duck to assets GLTF. Here we go. And then I just have to create the model. Duck model equals model manager get model assets base path plus duck glb. Okay, and this is the duck model. Great. So yeah, that should add a bunch of lights, and then I want to say like lights of 0. Oh right. I want to run get object on this actually. Get light. Get light. And yeah, you're not size T. You should be light pointers. There we go. Lights of 0. Yeah, position, color. Okay. So position. Let's so let me I don't want to do that. Let me look at what I was doing before. So I was doing 0, 1, -2. So 0, 1, -2. And then 0, 1, 5. And then -2. Yeah, just copy this. There we go. There's the positions, and then I just want these colors. And so these are, I don't know if these get, yeah. Yeah, so these are just all white, but then this one's like 10 intensity. Oh yeah, I want to give some default values. Yeah, light data. Yeah, default value position. It's just 0, 0, 0. Again, is this expected parameter declarator? Hold on. How does that work again? Oh, it's got to be this one. And then color is 1.0, 1.0. This actually needs to be a Vec 4, I think. Or is it Vec 3? No, it's Vec 3. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess a light doesn't have an alpha channel, so sure. That's good. Yeah, go in here. Right. And then, so I want to say lights of 0. I want to say color. I just say like 10 times lights of 0 color. There, just multiply it by 10. Int and there. And then just do the same thing for this. There. Oh yeah, and this needs to be 0, 1, 2. So that should be all the lights. Oh, and then one more thing. When I create the light, I want to go ahead and write the light with the default values. There. Everything should work now. Oh, something's... Oh, okay. It's not happy with me. Game dot what? How did I just crash here? S effect what? Yeah, so somehow I just like crashed on, I have no idea what. GDB doesn't know what I crashed on. Okay. Let's not do this. Get light, add light. Light equals new light. Alec, yeah, that's all fine. I have no idea why I crashed there. Still crashing. Okay. If I just get rid of this. Is it not like the duck model? It's possible. But I wouldn't think so. Yeah. Let's see. Is it the duck model? No. So it's definitely when I'm creating the lights. Doing right light, and that's light Alec. Right, light data. Yeah, that all makes sense. It's weird because like I'm not even getting like a typical error. I'm getting like I'm like really screwing things up. Yeah, segfault. Try it again. Yeah, this at entry. It's like STL vector. It's so weird. Let me see if I like totally disable optimizations. Maybe this will give me some better debug info. I have to rebuild everything. All right, and I'm probably gonna get off soon. I'll be gone for like an hour. I'll take an hour break. Yeah, I'll probably get off at 5:30. I'll be back around 6:30, and then I'll go until 9:30. Since I'm scheduled offset by about 30 minutes today. Failed. What? This was working before. Warning: fortify source. Yeah, I don't care. Oh man. Undefined reference to flush copies. Why? Do allocation, sub-allocation, contiguous fix, GPU. Okay, something I didn't set up flush copies on, but why am I getting that error now when I disable optimizations? That's strange. Yeah, it's not fixed allocator, it's allocation, right? But this has flush copies. This is virtual void. This has it. This has it. Yeah. That's a template class anyway. Is that it? Yeah, it's just this weird error here. So, okay, there's all the compile commands. Load, allocator, allocation, undefined reference to GPU allocation, flush copies. That's odd because I know this exists. Yeah, undefined reference, GPU allocation, flush copies. What? Yeah, and these just have a bunch of Spear v Cross just has a whole bunch of warnings because I don't know. Or maybe this is like an XOS thing. I'm not really sure. Anyway, yeah, LD returned 1 exit status. Undefined reference to, yeah, GPU allocation, flush copies, allocation, sub-allocation, fixed allocator, GPU allocation. But these are all set up right. And it's just this one function that has a problem. Definitely exists. And this only happens with optimizations disabled, which is even more confusing. Like, why is the linker failing when I turn optimizations off? That doesn't make any sense. Let me just make clean and try this again. Maybe something in the compiler cache just completely broke. Yeah, it's still failing. Okay. Okay, so you're coming from descriptors. Oh, wait, I think it's missing header files. It's not that it's yeah. It's not that this doesn't exist. It's I need a header file somewhere. In source render allocation undefined. How is it undefined here? Descriptors draw. Yeah. Go up here. Okay, you have allocation, but I guess include base allocator. Is that gonna fix it? It says it's unused, but no, because that's there, right? Base allocator. No, that doesn't matter. I don't think, but I don't know. Maybe that'll fix it. No. Okay, let's just look at descriptors then. So you're telling me that. Why is this in descriptors? What? I'm not using this in descriptors. I'm not sure what's going on here. I did turn this back off. It's just this one function that's breaking. Very strange. Public Virtual void. Oh, wait, maybe do I need this? That's probably it. Something like that. Right, and maybe that was getting optimized to like straight to be 0, something like that. But when I turn off optimizations, I don't know. Just clear all that out again. Try this again. Yeah, what that is I'm setting the virtual function to be null by default. Yeah, and so I guess yeah. And since I wasn't setting that, it was looking for an actual implementation of this virtual function, and then I think when I had optimization like level 1 enabled or something, then I think it's NixOS enabling it by default because it doesn't happen on Arch. Anyway, yeah, had optimizations enabled. It was probably setting this to null by default, or just optimizing it out or something, and so it didn't matter. And yeah, so it compiled now. So that's the problem. Okay, so yeah, I can try to run this. Okay, yeah, I got a seg fault, and I am gonna go in a minute or so. Just want to see if this is something I can fix. Okay, here we go. Now I'm getting a seg fault at get light. That makes way more sense. Okay. So let me split that stuff up into multiple pieces. So let's say size t, light ID equals this. And get light ID. Yeah, I need to figure out what's going on with NixOS automatically optimizing stuff because I do not want that. And then it gives me all this Fortify source garbage. Okay, so get light is the problem. So you seg fault there. So light ID is 0, so that makes sense. So let's look at Object Manager. You're a thing that exists. Yeah. So I have all those objects. And then what happens if I say like lights? Lights vector of length 1, capacity 1. Lights of 0. That all makes sense. So all of these, everything here makes sense. It's just seg faulting because it feels like it. Okay. Great. Okay. Light ID, yeah, so get light. Let me see. I'm not doing anything too crazy with get light. If light ID is less than light size, return lights of light ID, otherwise throw runtime error. Yep. So like I'm checking the bounds. That seems totally reasonable. And it has length 1, capacity 1. And I'm looking for 0. Yeah. And just return me the light. So I'm not sure what's going on here. But I'm going to take a break. I will be back in about an hour. Yeah, I'm not sure who all is still watching. But yeah, I'll be back in about an hour. So I'll see you.